Hi, this is Lacey from Bourbon House, and you're watching CMS TV.
From the It's 5 o'clock somewhere release, that is Flash's Snake Pit with Beggars and Hangers On. It's 5 o'clock here in the CMS studios. So I'm enjoying Jack and Coke, and I want to dedicate that song to Steven Crowder.
Okay, there you go.
So,
he needs the dedication these days.
He does. He's a beggar and hanger on. He's
That's right.
Begging for a job and hanging on to hope that somebody will land him a big $30 million contract.
Yeah, he's very broke.
Well, we are into the segment that, you know, the fine folks of the CMS fan base have asked us about earlier tonight.
Yes.
And I don't know if you have any materials prepared or anything.
I don't, but I can find whatever I need.
All right. But anyway, people have been asking Chris, and it's been floated around the chat room about this whole Steven Crowder thing. If you're not aware of Steven Crowder, he has a show called Louder with Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
And he was part of the Blaze TV CRT network for the last
few years anyway. Yeah.
8 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a young man. He's only 35 years old.
Yeah.
And he has a successful show. I got to admire the guy that he put together a studio setting and put together professional broadcast equipment, professional cameras, and he did it right. He did a good job doing his production correctly.
Yeah.
And his fan base had gotten to a point to where he was a very, what do you want to call a show that had good production, and he could actually pay money to have a staff, which he lured your friend and your
client and everything else.
Dave Landau away from Anthony Cumia.
Correct.
From the Cumia Compound Media Network, whatever Anthony calls it these days.
Right.
And he's got a presence out there. I have not been a avid watcher of Steven Crowder's show, Louder with Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
I watch clips periodically and so on and so forth. What I find funny is that the left-leaning, mainstream media refers to him as this far right, whatever, and it's just like, well, he's not really quote unquote a far right anything. He's just a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
He's not some kind of right-wing wacko.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's just a conservative. He's a conservative guy. He comes from Michigan. And for being a young fella as he is, 35 years old, he has a lot of conservative values that maybe somebody 15 or 20 years older than him would possess.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume that, he was brought up maybe in a conservative household and he struck out on his own. So I will give him credit for being productive and following his passion and putting together a show and doing everything that he's done to where we're even talking about him today.
Well, yeah, I mean, his show is huge. I mean, his show is it's in that same ballpark arena. I don't think it's not as big, but it's in that same arena as like a Rogan.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a few million plays every single day that they're live. every day.
Right.
So, it's definitely a huge show.
Yeah. It's funny depending on who you read or listen to or where you get your news from.
Mm-hmm.
But the crux of the matter is that Steven Crowder's show ended its contract period with Blaze TV.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically looking for a new home.
Correct.
I don't know the reason why that he no longer is involved with Blaze TV, CRT TV, which is Mark Levin.
Ben Shapiro.
No. He's Daily Wire.
Oh, okay. Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck.
Yeah, Glenn Beck.
These guys. I mean, I'm not a Glenn Beck fan. I can't really stomach the guy, to be honest.
Tape your head together because it's going to explode. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm not a Glenn Beck guy. I think he's a little bit of a wacko.
Yeah.
I do like Mark Levin.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy Mark Levin, but I like his fiery persona. Is our artist guy, is he still part of our network or not? I don't know the answer.
He doesn't have time to do it, so no, but he's still out there.
Yeah, but he's a Levin guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I like Levin, just due to his fiery personality, and he's he gets riled up. I like that.
Sure.
But I don't buy into the whole right wing. If you're a conservative, somehow you're some kind of an evil, bigoted, hateful person.
Well, either you're far left or you're crazy. That's kind of the world that we're being dictated as now.
Right. So anyway, for whatever reason, and again, I don't know the reason. I'm just pontificating on what I do know or observe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, I don't know what the appeal of Steven Crowder is, or why Blaze TV or CRTV, which was Mark Levin's network, when they merged with Blaze TV, which is what's his face, Glenn Beck. They merged together to do Blaze Television, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they didn't re-sign Crowder. I don't know if you know anything about that. Is it just too much of a pain in the ass because of the
it has look again, I gotta be super careful on some of this.
I'm not asking you to, I know you have a little inside information.
Yeah,
I'm not asking you to put that out on the table, but I don't know the reason why that if Crowder is a valued commodity, why wouldn't a Blaze TV offer him re-up the contract?
Well, I'll put it this way. One, the problems that they have with monetization is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is a definite problem. That the show is for sure demonetized a lot of the time, or all the time, and B, is always in jeopardy of being kicked off of YouTube.
Okay.
Which
so basically the business model relies on YouTube to generate income.
Or yes, but in a different way than the normal. It not so much in the monetization, but it's more of they're on YouTube, a ton of people watch it. You can sell the Mug Club, you can get people to sign up for Mug Club, which ultimately was Blaze TV.
Yeah.
When you signed up for Mug Club, you got all the shows.
Right. So Blaze TV owned, quote unquote, Mug Club.
I don't think they owned it, but I think they profited from it.
No, I think they own it, because I don't think Crowder is allowed to have Mug Club now, because that was like,
oh really?
No. From what I understand, that was not a Crowder owned piece. That piece belongs to Blaze TV.
Okay,
So,
it could
so
be.
when-
I don't know.
Oh, I know that because I've been, following this for the last few days. So I think Crowder is trying to reestablish Mug Club under
Yes, Mug Club forever.
There you are. So he had to change it just a little bit because Blaze TV actually owns Mug Club.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. You know more than me on that. I
Well,
don't know.
but see, you confirmed it with me that Mug Club forever. It's Mug Club, but he had to just change it just a little bit
Right.
to make it his own.
Yeah.
So when he left Blaze TV, he was not allowed to take the Mug Club moniker with him. Now you subscribe to the Mug Club thing, right?
I did, but I let it expire because I
All right,
really wasn't
but you
watching.
did, but you were a member, yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, what did you get with that?
You got access to all the shows on whatchamacallit, on the do you hear that? I got a fucking murder going on in my backyard.
I heard nothing.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hear like a cat or something being murdered out there by another animal. Hurry up and kill it. It's distracting me.
Could be a coyote.
Well, hurry up and finish your business and kill it so that I can stop hearing the crying.
Eat that pussy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, what you got was Crowder, he would do his show like an hour and 15 with that was free. And then they would cancel out, and then the other 45 minutes of the show was only available on Mug Club.
So they would do the walk over to Sirius XM.
Pretty much. And and so they would do that, as well as every once in a while they put up episodes that were just available for Mug Club.
What?
I know.
Exclusive content for subscribers?
I know, imagine that.
You fucking shills, man.
Yeah. So they had that, and then they had all the other shows, the Levin and Beck, and there's a bunch of other shows on there, but I'll be honest, I never watched a single one of them.
All right. So you subscribe just for Crowder?
I subscribed to support Dave.
Okay. All right.
When Dave moved over from Kumia
right
to Crowder, I did the friendly gesture of I'll sign up for what you're doing.
I'll sign up to support my friend.
Correct.
All right, cool. I get it.
That's what I did.
All right.
And I'll be honest, I only maybe watched 5 times in a year.
Okay.
I just didn't use it. So.
And what did that cost you?
I don't know, $100, $80, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
That's like $7 a month.
I know, but I got that bitchin' cup though.
Oh,
I did get a mug.
You got a Mug Club.
I did. I got a mug from the Mug Club.
You got a Mug Club mug.
I did. I wish I had it right here, right now, but I don't. But I do have one.
All right. You paid money for that?
I did. Apparently, I paid $90 for a cup.
All right. All right. So then, well, for whatever reason, obviously, if you followed any of this media stuff, Steven Crowder got booted from YouTube because of the strict censorship guidelines that they imposed over there. And it became a big lawsuit, and it was just a big mess and so on and so forth. But when his contract ended at the end of the year, 2022, he was without a home.
Right. From the way it was presented on Crowder's show, it sounded like, and again, I'm just guessing here, but it sounded like they might have been in negotiation, but it just didn't pan out.
Okay.
And so Crowder decided to leave and see what else is out there.
All right. Well, see, here's the question that I have. And again, I don't know the answer. I'm just asking the question because you seem to have a little bit more in the know than I do.
Okay.
Why doesn't Crowder just establish his own thing? Why is he relying on a network or somebody to pay him to do his thing if he's already got a good following, which according to you and sources, he's got a good audience.
He does.
So why doesn't he just establish his own entity and not worry about trying to get somebody to pay him, to guarantee a paycheck? I mean, everybody would love a guaranteed paycheck, but the only one that I know that's done that is Rogan.
Yeah. Well, again, this is a guess. I'm guessing that the amount of money that's being batted around, that's the guaranteed money that's being batted around, is more than he's willing to take the risk to make on his own.
Okay.
100% a guess. That comes with nobody in my ear. That's just me guessing that.
That's
when you're
fair assessment.
When you can't get monetized on YouTube, and that's a big source of your money, and or a big source of your audience, and you don't know that platform's going to stay there.
Sure.
And Rumble is clearly a backup. I mean, he has like 6 million subscribers on YouTube. He has 1.1 million subscribers on Rumble. It's a big drop off.
Okay.
It's a big drop off.
Sure.
And I think he's at the level right now, and this is me again guessing. He's at the level that people are throwing big numbers at him, and he's just like like even this Daily Wire, which we'll get into, the number is what, $13 million a year or something.
It's like 12.5.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 12.5. Yeah, it's 12.5. It's $50 million for 4 years.
Yeah. So even at 12.5. He's thinking that that's more guaranteed money than betting on himself and maybe not succeeding.
Yeah, but the thing is from what I'm hearing or what I've read or what I understand is that 12.5 for him, he thinks he's worth 30 million.
And maybe he does. And there's got to be a lot of people that want it. I mean, look, my curious question is the obvious question. Why the fuck doesn't Rumble buy it? They're funded and they have him already. Why wouldn't Rumble make the same kind of deal as Spotify did with Rogan exclusively on Rumble? That would be so huge for Rumble.
Because they're sponsoring Slap Fight.
Well, there's that too. I mean, I know that would be a tough 1-2 punch, so to speak. But don't you think? I mean, Rumble would make sense. I would think.
Well, I agree. Well, again, depending on where you get your news from, I want to read 2 different headlines that cover the exact same story.
Okay.
So if you read Forbes at all,
mm-hmm.
The headline in Forbes is right-wing pundits Ben Shapiro, who is the head of Daily Wire,
right,
and Steven Crowder clash over a $50 million media deal.
Right.
But if you read the left-leaning Rolling Stone magazine,
mm-hmm.
the headline for the exact same story, far-right blowhard calls $50 million Daily Wire offer a slave contract.
Wow.
So
that is some creative writing.
So depending on what side of the fence you choose to stand on,
mm-hmm.
you could go, well, Steven Crowder, he's a blowhard and an asshole.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could look at it the other way and go, and again, the whole right wing. What does that even mean?
Conservatives, I guess. I don't know.
I guess
not being agreeable to the the mandates of the world, I guess. I don't know.
See, again, it's just like, if you're a conservative, you're somehow this crazy right wing, bigoted, hateful, whatever,
Right.
because you hold people accountable.
That's right.
But that's a terrible thing to be.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, anyway, to get to the gist of the story,
Mm-hmm.
and here, and let me read this. This is always makes me laugh. Now, if you've ever watched Steven Crowder,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, he's a comedian. Yes,
Yes,
he is a comedian.
he is. That's his first job.
That's my point.
Yep.
But if you read the stories, here's the first line in the story.
Okay.
Far right YouTuber. Far right.
Far right YouTuber. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
There's YouTube, and then there's the far right YouTube.
The far right YouTuber Steven Crowder has accused the conservative media outlets like the Daily Wire of conspiring with tech companies, not big tech, but tech companies.
Tech companies, right?
To censor conservative views after the company offered Crowder a $50 million deal that would cut his compensation if his social media channels were demonetized or boycotted,
Right.
which Crowder called a slave contract.
Right. That's just nuts. By the way, here's my mug club.
Oh, there you go. How
There
did
it
you
is.
get that?
My son just brought it in.
Look at that. You got an intern.
I do. I have an intern. I have a mug club cup.
Look at that. What's that
I'm in.
made out of? Is that
It's ceramic.
did they make that in art class?
I don't think so.
Was that made by an art student
I don't think so.
who took
It's pretty
on
nice though. It's
Yeah.
this is all like embedded or whatever you call that, embossed. The type and stuff is all embossed.
Do you stroke that passionately while you drink what coffee are you drinking today? Are you drinking the Dave Ellison coffee?
Not currently. I'm not on the Ellison right now. Right now I am on the Dunkin' Donuts classic roast.
Oh, so you're going with big corporate coffee.
I am. I'm big corporate right now.
You're not drinking Stephen Piercy coffee.
Not yet. I need to try the Stephen Piercy coffee.
You're drinking big tech coffee.
I am. Big tech in it with Dunkin'.
You fucking suck, dude.
I do. You're right. Selling it out.
You're not drinking like boutique coffee.
No, I usually do though. That's the funny thing is I really do usually drink like all these different weird brands, and I support all the bands and drink all their dumb coffees and stuff. And
See, dude, you're diminishing it because you're calling it dumb coffees.
well, look, there's some bands out there that clearly don't deserve a coffee. Autograph has a coffee. Come on.
It's just Seattle's Best, just repackaged with Autograph on the name.
Autograph doesn't even have an original member, but they have coffee, for God's sakes. Come on.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You're all about big tech, man.
I am. Big tech coffee drinker.
Dunkin' Donuts, man.
What's next? Starbucks?
Yeah.
Won't be drinking that. That's garbage coffee. I don't know how anybody drinks that.
Such a man.
Hey.
Better mark that on your.
I better write it down. 2326.
In a video posted online this week, Crowder said that some outlets were quote unquote in bed with tech companies. I like how this Forbes article eliminates the term big tech.
Yes, of course.
They just call it tech companies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're colluding to ultimately demonetize and censor right-wing views on social media platforms. Though he didn't name the outlet specifically, Crowder also showed excerpts of the contract from one company later confirmed to be the Daily Wire with the compensation penalizations if his program faces loss of advertising revenue, including from advertiser boycotts, or if Crowder channels were demonetized by social media platforms.
Okay.
While Crowder never named the media company or specified their proposed salary, he said that the contract's immoral terms are effectively punishing conservative content creators on behalf of big tech. The Daily Wire's CEO, Jeremy Boring, confirmed in a YouTube video Thursday details Crowder's job offer, claiming the YouTuber misrepresented the contract that would have awarded Crowder $50 million over 4 years. Boring chalked up the contract stipulations to running a profitable media business and said Crowder seemed to think he deserved to be paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, whether his show drives revenue to the Daily Wire or not. So he basically just wants a Joe Rogan deal.
Yeah, he wants a benefactor.
Yeah, he just wants, regardless if I generate revenue or not, you still need to pay me no matter what.
He wants to be the face. He doesn't want to be responsible for generating revenue.
No, it's just like if I fail or nobody subscribes to my show or if you make money from my content, I still want to be paid regardless.
Well, and you know what, though? In media, that is kind of what contracts are. I mean, they sign, I don't know, Robert De Niro to make a movie, whether it makes any money or not, he gets paid.
True. But media media content that relies on social media for your revenue, that's a dicey thing.
I agree. I do agree that it's, especially a guy like Crowder, who, let's face it, is always on the same firing line as like an Alex Jones. And Alex Jones got canceled from everything.
He did.
So that could happen to Crowder.
True. So what's his value if he doesn't bring in any revenue?
Yeah.
In this world of being a capitalist, the idea is to make money. And if you have a Steven Crowder on your payroll, the guy has to bring in some revenue, or what good is he to you?
Well, and my initial thought with this, and I'm sure we're going to get into the whole thing of it, but when I first heard this thing and heard the contract, I thought the contract is ridiculous. And then as it turns out, which we'll get into, it was kind of opening salvo. It was not like take it or leave it type of a deal. But my whole thought was, it's just not the kind of deal the guy was looking for. And I didn't understand why he was taking it to the public. You know, that would be like, I don't know, let me think of a good example. If I needed to get a tire replaced on my car because the tread was run bare, and somebody said to me, well, I'm going to put 4 new tires and a new transmission and a new engine in your car. That's not the kind of deal I'm looking for. I'm just looking to get a new tire. So I wouldn't go with that deal. You know, I would go to the next guy that would just give me the new tire. In a way, I think Crowder, look, Daily Wire had an idea of what they wanted to offer, which was revenue based on, or fee based on revenue.
Right.
And that's not what Crowder wanted. So I don't know why he decided to take this to social media and to the public versus just saying, you know what, guys, it's not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. If you can do that, fine. If not, shake hands, part ways, go to the next company.
I agree.
So now he's going to be a fucking pariah to everybody.
Yeah, I agree. And what you just described here, Crowder is looking for a Joe Rogan deal.
Yes.
No matter what Rogan does, no matter how many subscribers Spotify gets to get the Rogan experience.
Right.
Rogan gets paid regardless. But Spotify believed that Rogan was a good risk to gain Spotify subscribers.
Correct.
To pay for the service.
And that is different than what what Crowder does. Rogan, if you think about Rogan's deal, part of Rogan's deal was he took his content off of the other platforms.
Right.
And made it exclusive to Spotify's platform.
Right.
Crowder's business model doesn't fit that. Crowder's business model is keep being on YouTube, keep being on Rumble, keep being on, podcasts, I guess. It's a different model. And the Daily Mail, and I don't know anything about the Daily Mail, really.
It's Daily Wire.
Or whatever it is, the Daily Wire. Do they have, are they set up like the Blaze TV? I don't know what they do.
No, Daily Wire relies on the outlets such as YouTube, Facebook, that kind of stuff for their revenue.
Okay.
So it is not a business model that supports just hiring talent.
Yeah, just hiring a star.
And just giving them money, regardless if they make money or not.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
now Spotify makes money because they sell subscriptions to their podcast content. They sell subscriptions because they have music, all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Spotify is willing to take the risk to hire Joe Rogan, pay him $100 million over 5 years.
Yeah.
And if Joe Rogan brings in new Spotify subscribers, great. If he doesn't, well, we would like it to.
Yeah.
But we're not going to hold Joe Rogan responsible if he doesn't.
Right. And they were confident from their spreadsheet research that he would. And that's part of their deal.
Yeah, true. But see, the model, the business model that the Daily Wire operates on, they operate on a business model that relies on revenue from left-leaning big tech outlets like YouTube, Facebook, that kind of thing. And if they piss off the big liberal gods and don't make any money, they're not going to be able to pay out a bunch of money to Crowder and go, well, we brought you on board for the fact that you're going to help us generate revenue.
Right.
And when you don't generate revenue, we can't continue paying us. So we're going to have to take it out of your end.
Right.
And he didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, and the real question the first question that comes to mind breaking it down that way is, why in the fuck would Steven Crowder be negotiating with a company that their business model involves the left wing big tech?
I agree. He should have never been talking to them.
Yeah, he should have said no, thank you.
Yeah, because their business model relies on YouTube and Facebook and Apple and all these other things that if those platforms decided to pull the plug, they're screwed. Yeah, they're fucked. But see, Crowder thinks that if YouTube or Apple or Facebook pulled the plug on his content because he didn't, because whatever he said was offensive, that Daily Wire should pay him regardless.
Right. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm going to put it back on the screen for a minute. He registered the BigCon website back in December. So this was all planned out by him way before this week. It's all for publicity.
Maybe.
If that is indeed true, then that's really suspicious. That he knew that something like this was going to happen, or he suspected it at least. That's definitely suspicious.
Right. Well, I'm going to get back to your point that you brought up here a minute ago.
Okay.
It's like, why didn't Rumble offer him a deal like they did Rogan? Because when Rogan was on the fence, when all the controversy started up with, well, Rogan has content out on YouTube that he said 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That is offensive, to the more delicate types out there.
Yeah.
Rumble said, well, if the deal between Spotify and Rogan tanks,
Yeah, you can come here.
We'll take him.
Yeah.
Well, if Rumble has that kind of wherewithal,
Which they do because they're now funded by whatever company that put them on the stock exchange.
right? Why wouldn't they offer Crowder an exclusive contract, as you said, like they did with Rogan? Because Rumble is its own platform.
Yeah.
And if they were to sign a Crowder to an exclusive deal, there's a guarantee that Crowder's not going to get canceled or defunded or demonetized or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the Daily Wire, their business model relies on YouTube, which is not conservative friendly, Facebook, which is not conservative friendly, Apple TV, which is not conservative friendly.
Right.
They're walking on a razor's edge, as it were.
Yeah.
And if one of those entities decided this content goes against our delicate sensibilities, and we're going to demonetize it, and Crowder pays the price for that, well, Daily Wire also pays the price for that, because they depend on these big tech companies for their income.
Do you get the impression, and I'm spitballing here, but do you get the impression that part of the reason he went to like Daily Wire and before that even The Blaze is that he wants to be known as like the new Rush Limbaugh? He wants the prestige, and he wants to work with he wants to be mentioned in the same ballpark as the Ben Shapiro's of the world and the Mark Levin's of the world and the Glenn Becks. He doesn't want to be known as much as a comedian, because even in his video, he was talking nonstop about, I'm fighting for you, I'm fighting for the country, where he's kind of trying to elevate himself past the fact that he's a stand-up from Detroit.
Yeah, well, he's originally a Canadian.
Oh, whatever. Stand up from Toronto or wherever.
Right. But I get it. He wants to be a monumental figure.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you're and I'm gonna bring this back around to what you and I do. He is dealing with what you and I have fought against for the 27 years we've been in existence.
Yeah.
We don't want to take money or be beholden to anybody who goes, your existence depends on whether we like you or not.
Right.
And that's the reason why we've never bowed to social media pressures or conform to the norms. Whatever the norms are. We've done our own thing, and we've self-funded our own thing for the last 27 years, because it's just like, you know what? The people who have the power to make or break you, they're going to decide whether you exist or don't exist.
Yeah. And
unfortunately for an entity like the Daily Wire, they're in bed with company. They use other people's platforms. The Daily Wire does not have its own platform like Rumble. So if those platforms, be it YouTube, Facebook, Apple TV, blah, 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 they dictate to you what you can and can't do.
Right.
Rumble, if you're signed to a Rumble thing, you're they'll tell you, we're going to accept this, that, and the other. And if you stay in that guideline, we'll let you broadcast all day long.
Yeah. But, and the thing that drives me crazy, what in the world would it do for Rumble if they signed Crowder to an exclusive deal? It would make that channel, it would make Rumble, it wouldn't put them on par with YouTube, but it would certainly put them as the strong alternative to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They already kind of are. But if they grabbed a guy like Crowder, that's going to open, and they already have like Russell Brand, and Russell Brand would probably be the next one that they grab.
Right.
You know, if they grab those two guys, all of a sudden you're talking about legitimate traffic on their platform every single day.
Right. Well, see, here's the mistake that Crowder made, and I watched some of the footage this week or video this week.
Yeah.
He tried to criticize Daily Wire for saying, well, we depend on the revenue that we get from our YouTube presence, and we depend on revenue from our Facebook presence, and so on and so forth. And if your show gets demonetized from, you know, a couple of these sources, you're basically useless to us, and we're going to take it out of your end because your content caused us to lose revenue. So we lose revenue, you lose revenue. And he's like, fuck that. You need to pay me whether you lose revenue or not.
Yeah.
So that's not a good fit for Crowder. If Crowder has it in his mind that you need to pay me regardless if you make money with my content or not, that's not the good fit for him.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking to do. You know, it's definitely not what he's looking to do. He wants, like you said, he wants the Rogan deal.
Yeah, he wants a guaranteed money regardless of how the outcome is.
Or a Howard Stern deal.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of, you know, some of the stuff that they were trying to say that he would. I agreed with some of the stuff he said, but then some of it I blatantly disagreed with him about, like, as an example, that he would lose, I think it was $100,000 anytime they didn't do a show that was scheduled.
Right.
I see that as pretty fair.
Yeah.
If you're paying them $100,000, or if they're paying them $70,000 a show or whatever the number is, you know, to do a show, and he doesn't do it for a day, they should recoup with a penalty.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is that all they require of him is an hour of broadcast, and what is it? A half hour behind the scenes?
Yeah, something like it's like an hour. It's like a 2-hour total commitment. It's 10 hours a week or 8 hours a week.
And the thing
Monday
is,
through Thursday.
Yeah. So they told him basically out of a $50 million deal, how many shows a year did he have to do? Like
190 or something?
No, I think it's like 169 shows.
Okay.
Out of 365 days.
Yeah.
And it's like 90 minutes a day.
Yeah. It's not crazy.
I mean, it's 90 minutes a day to do a show.
Yeah.
You and I we've been on this segment for 43 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're halfway there already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. It doesn't take anything. So they're saying, we need 169 shows out of you for a whole year. If you miss one of those shows, we're going to deduct $100,000.
Right.
That's 100,000 out of 12.5 million.
Yeah. I mean, look, is it a penalty? Yes, but so what? Show up.
Yeah.
What's the problem? And you know, and again, two things come to my brain here. One, Crowder, let's call it the way it is. He misses a lot of shows. He does miss a lot of shows. If you go out to YouTube and you look up Louder with Crowder, there's a lot of shows in the last year and a half that are Louder with Dave, where Dave is sitting in the captain's chair. You know, so there's a lot of those shows where Dave leads the show. You know, and I mean, I know Crowder had some health issues. He had like a heart thing and whatever. I mean, he had some health issues. I get that. But again, you know, if as long as Daily Wire is okay with the entity Louder with Crowder does a show, I don't see what the problem is. They've been doing, you know, when Crowder's not there, they have another guy that does it for them. Just like every other show on the planet. You know, I mean, before Rush Limbaugh died, there was a lot of times that Rush Limbaugh didn't do his show and they had guest hosts.
Yeah, they had a lot of guest hosts.
Or Levin, I'm sure when Levin does over the holidays, is there a guest host for Levin?
No,
he does his own show like through the holidays and everything.
No, they just run the best
of or whatever. But my thing is, they got a staff though. They have a staff and they have other competent people that, as part of the entity that is Louder with Crowder, it is accepted by that audience that sometimes it's Dave leading. Sometimes it's Dave and Quarterblack. Sometimes it's Gerald. Gerald leads sometimes. I mean, that's kind of how that show works. I don't see where the problem is on that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This whole thing is very messy.
Well, it comes out to be being a prima donna.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it boils down to is I'm a prima donna and I think I should get Joe Rogan money and I think I should be guaranteed a salary regardless of how well I do on these social media outlets that my show is broadcast on.
Yeah.
And capitalism doesn't work that way. You have to bring value to a company. And if your value doesn't pay for your existence, what's the point in having you?
Yeah. And what is suspicious to me, why, and we've kind of tiptoed around it, but I'll bring it up directly. Why isn't he willing to bet on himself? Why does he need Rumble, Daily Wire, Spotify, whoever? Why, if he's so adamant about fighting the good fight and doing it his way and blah, 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 why doesn't he do it himself? Why doesn't he bet on himself on this?
Yeah.
Unless he's afraid that it might not work.
Yeah.
And let's face it, this is probably, and I get both sides of this because I get that the other side of this is that this is probably the one time in his life he's ever going to have an opportunity with this kind of money being thrown around.
Right.
And it's hard to walk away from that.
Well,
but if you truly are this fighter for free speech and all that other stuff, then bet on yourself. You got 6 million fucking followers. You can't convince them to spend, if they spend $1 on you, that's 6 million. $2, that's the 12. Right?
I agree.
That's getting them to spend $2 a year, each one of your listeners.
Sure.
Doesn't seem outrageous.
The Daily Wire CEO, Jeremy Boring, chalked up the contract stipulations to running a profitable media business and said Crowder seems to think he deserves to be paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, whether his show drives revenue to the Daily Wire or not. Far-right media personalities criticized Crowder, including the Daily Wire co-founder, Ben Shapiro, who said it was rather nasty to attack friends over his misrepresentation of the document that offered you $50 million. Matt Walsh, who hosts the show on the Daily Wire, said that the suggestion that the company's pundits are somehow muzzled or controlled is blatantly absurd, while Candace Owens says that it was a total bitch move. Crowder defended himself in a YouTube video Thursday, saying his comments were not about the money and that he encouraged the Daily Wire to change their business model, not to rely so much on advertising revenue. That's how media companies make money. It's advertising.
Look, I'm gonna pull even back further from that ring that you just drew. I'm gonna go one ring out from that. Who the fuck is this guy to tell that business how to work?
Yeah, they've been somehow successful so far by establishing whatever business model they choose to run on.
Yeah.
If their business model doesn't fit your agenda,
move on.
These aren't the people you should be talking to.
Right. That's it. I mean, for him to say, and I found that really kind of, kind of bitch move, like Candace Owens said there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go into negotiating with a business and say, well, you need to change how you do it.
Yeah, I need to dictate how you need to change your business model to suit me.
Yeah, I want $50 million from you, but I need you to change how you earn that $50 million to suit me.
Right.
What is that? That's a bold move there.
I agree. If there's a penalty for being demonetized on YouTube because your business model requires that a huge component of it, you need to change your business model or this movement cannot work, Crowder told Bering during a phone call that was played on Crowder's show on Thursday video.
See, again, the movement.
Yeah.
He's no longer a comedian.
Well, again, it's just like, stop relying on YouTube for your revenue, dude. You need to do something on your own. Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is then?
Yeah, do yourself something on your own. But my thing is, now he's talking about the movement, like he's Martin Luther Crowder, and he's leading the movement.
Right.
And he's not. He's just he's a guy that people like to watch.
Right. Crowder previously had an online show on The Blaze, Glenn Beck's media company, but announced last month he was leaving Crowder. Crowder has long been controversial personality on social media, particularly on YouTube, which in March of 2021 demonetized his main channel, making it impossible for him to run ads and earn a profit. YouTube did not reveal if a specific event triggered Crowder's demonetization, but did remove one of Crowder's videos for violating YouTube's presidential election integrity policy, the platform said, and suspended him for a week. Later in October of 2021, Crowder was suspended again after he uploaded a video discussing a story of a transgender woman serving time in California's women's prison who allegedly raped and impregnated a fellow inmate, a claim that has been debunked. Crowder was suspended after the video was found to violate YouTube's hate speech policy through repeated targeting of the LGBTQ 123685549 community, YouTube said.
Been there.
Last year, Boring said that the Daily Wire was a $100 million business. The website's 12-month revenue hit $100 million in January of 2022, up from the $65 million for a full year in 2020. The Daily Wire is among the top publishers on Facebook, and the company's right-wing pundits are some of the most popular conservative creators. Besides news coverage and social media, the Daily Wire produces original movies, has their own book imprint, and other products. The company started selling their own line of men's shaving kits. Shaving kits,
nice.
When was the last time you bought a shaving kit?
Well, obviously, if you can see.
Right.
About never.
After popular grooming brand Harry's Razors pulled their advertising from their site over complaints that the podcast host had made homophobic comments.
Oh my God.
So there you are.
You can't have that when your razor company's in jeopardy.
Homophobic comments. But anyway, what this boils down to is that this is not a good fit for Crowder.
Right.
They offered him $50 million under the stipulation that you don't get thrown off YouTube, you don't get thrown off Spotify, you don't get thrown off Facebook, you don't get thrown off of Apple TV, you don't lose your sponsorship from, some of your show reads, all these other things that if people like you and they stick with you and they're willing to pay money to sponsor your show, blah, 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 you could make 50 million.
Yeah.
But if you get thrown off all these, platforms and we don't make any money from having you on our,
Platform.
well, the thing is the Daily Wire is not a platform. They're just I don't know what you want to call them, a media company, because they rely on everybody else's platforms.
Mm-hmm. Content creators.
Yeah, content creator. You're of no use to us. And how are we supposed to recoup that money that you lost?
Yeah.
So, in short, what Crowder is looking for is for a Joe Rogan Spotify deal that you get paid regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing. It's so you're putting demands on the Daily Wire that their business model does not support.
Yeah. And he really fucked himself with this.
I agree because he not only did he fuck himself by revealing behind the scenes taped conversations.
And that's pretty bitch move there. Wow.
I agree. And revealing contracts and this, that, and the other. It's just like, dude, this just wasn't a good fit for you.
Yeah.
Not for what you're looking for.
Mm-mm. Well, dude, what company of any style, regardless of what they offer, who's going to offer this guy a contract now?
They're not.
I can't. I mean, do you think Spotify's going to do that and take the chance of having their contract and have themselves embarrassed like this?
Yeah, because he just, says, I can't keep things secret between me and my,
my fans or whatever.
No. I can't keep secrets or keep private negotiations between me and my negotiator.
Yeah.
I'm going to expose you because I secretly recorded a phone call and now I'm playing it on my show.
Yeah. And I mean, he really fucked himself with that.
I agree. That was just a bad move. It's just like, well, listen, I just secretly recorded a conversation I had with the CEO of Daily Wire, and here's the talk we just had. And it's like, well, was he aware that you were recording the conversation, and was he aware that you were going to play this on your show?
And look, even if he was aware that he was being recorded, it clearly is out of context as far as where, Crowder's putting it in the context of this is what they were saying. And from what Boring has been saying, that this was not the contract. This was a
boilerplate.
Yeah, let's start here and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, let's redline some things out. Let's what do you want? This is what we want. Let's see if we can meet in the middle.
Yeah, now who is going to negotiate with him now?
Nobody. Because now he made this out like he's a martyr.
Now you got to sign an NDA in order to just do a contract.
Right.
And why would a company want to invest tens of thousands of dollars into legal fees to negotiate with this guy?
They wouldn't.
That's just nuts.
Yep. So I think he kind of fucked himself.
I do too. I mean, I'm sure he's going to land somewhere, but I don't think he's going to get the money he's looking for. Not now.
Well, but the thing is I think that if he's as popular as you say he is, because again, I don't follow his numbers. But apparently, a little bit about it.
Yeah.
He should just invest in himself and go, you know what? I may not make that revenue the first year that I'm doing this, but maybe by the second or third year, I'll be where I need to be.
Yeah.
Or where I want to be.
And like we said before, if it was with Rumble, you would get, he's got 6 million followers on YouTube. I would think legitimately, if the only place you could catch him was Rumble, you would get 3 to 4 of those million would come over and would download the Rumble app on their phone and whatever. I just think that's what would happen.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. But I don't think so. When he was suspended off YouTube, he added 1.1 million followers just by joining Rumble.
Right.
He was suspended for what, a week, a month, whatever it was. You know, and people came over to Rumble.
Well, it's just like that hockey player we talked about earlier tonight that, you know, he stood up for his own rights, and all of his jerseys are now sold out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking here, but okay.
Well,
You know?
in my opinion, and I'll wrap this up, in my opinion, this is very short-sightedness on Steven Crowder's point. I mean, he's a 35-year-old man, so he's still a little bit immature, a little bit. And he's not looking at the long game. I think he's looking at the immediate score.
Yeah.
Going, yep, I need to get that Rogan money because Rogan's getting $20 million a year for 5 years. I need to be guaranteed 20 or 30 million for the next 5 years.
Right.
It's like, you know, dude, you in this day and age when it's the wild west of media and you're relying on and if your reliance is on YouTube for your main income, you're barking up the wrong tree because YouTube will cut you off in a second.
Yeah.
The minute you go cross-eyed with somebody at YouTube, you're done.
And YouTube couldn't give a shit about 6 million people.
Nope.
They don't care. It's not like anybody's going to leave YouTube and never come back. It's just not going to happen.
Nope.
You know, so they don't care. So what? Leave. That's their attitude. Go ahead and leave. Same with like Facebook. Facebook's the same way. They thought, you know, all of them didn't have any problem at all cutting Alex Jones, and he had a few million followers, listeners, etc. Didn't hurt him a bit. You know, it didn't hurt him a bit.
Not at all.
You know, I mean, I don't know what Crowder's going to do. I'll say this: if people want to hear it, you know, I don't know what he's going to say or what he's willing to say. I haven't been told there's nothing I can ask, but I'm going to have Dave on Monday on Chris Aiken Presents with me and Eric.
Look at you shilling your other show on this.
I am.
Dude.
I am.
You know, fucking dude, I'm going to make you sign an NDA. I can't have you talking about Chris Aiken Presents on this show.
That's right. And like that other guy said, there's so much content coming out of the network now. I can't keep up with all of it. These nobodies. I keep having all these nobodies on the show.
Stop promoting your other shows on this show, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'll let you pick a tune and we'll come back and wrap up the show.
All right. How's about if we go with shit, I don't know. Bathroom Wall, Faster Pussycat. I'm just blanking.
What?
Blank.
Found your name on the bathroom wall.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can do that. It's kind of a sleazy song. I don't think I've played that song on the show in the last 20 years.
Yeah, we'll play that, and you know, just play 2 songs that come back. I'll do all the editing in this after.
What? I'm going to make you work harder?
Whatever. I'm not tired, so I'd rather just do the last half hour and then go do it. So it's all good.
All right. Well, we're going to play a couple songs. We'll come back. So here it is. It's Faster Pussycat with I Found Your Name on the Bathroom Wall, you skanky bitch. Exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Thanks for checking out this episode of The Classic Metal Show. Get all of our episodes uncensored at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. Join us weekly from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Eastern at www.cmsradio.net. Participate in the live chat room at www.chatandkill.com. Once again, thank you for checking out The Classic Metal Show with Neeley and Chris. Hail and kill, fuck you, pal, and hand job.